Hello, my name is Winnie. I hope you're doing well. I am back with another speed build, and this house is also for the save I'm working on. If you haven't seen my last build, it was for the Capp family, and this family actually has ties with them. They are their rivals. They are the Monty family, and both families are from The Sims 2 Veronaville. I decided to add them both into my new save. One, because I really like the story of Romeo and Juliet, and two, the family just has so much drama and backstory, so I thought it would be pretty cool to include them in this new save. This house is absolutely completely different from the Capp family. In The Sims 2, the Montys are described as an Italian family in a sense. I know their house is definitely described as Italian, and so I tried to keep that aesthetic. This is the house that I was using as a reference. I literally just searched up Italian mansions because they are a very wealthy family. Unfortunately, there is a pretty big time jump in the video. I had such a hard time with the roof, so in order to save time on the video, I ended up stopping recording, and I forgot to start recording again. So hence the big time jump. But all I did was landscape a bunch, so that would have taken a crap ton of the video. And as you can see, this video is pretty long anyways. I will do a little, I guess, montage at the end so that you can get the whole view of the house. Other than being completely different than the Capp family, this was also really out of my comfort zone. I don't know why I torture myself with really big builds, but I do, and this one was very challenging to say the least. It has a very open floor plan, not only on the inside of the house, but also for like the windows and the doors. Only the bedroom doors have like closing doors. Every other door in the house, oh, and aside from the front door, but every other door in the house is an archway. In the windows, there are some closed windows, as you can see, for like a very modern-esque type of style, but all the other windows are open flow, and they're from Jungle Adventure. I decided that they would be best suiting for this house because they have shutters, so I would imagine if they could, they'd be able to shut the window. But since it's The Sims, they can't necessarily shut the window. We can just pretend that they shut the window. And beside that it being a very interesting build, I thought that it turned out pretty cool. And because their house is on the top hill in Del Sol Valley, I thought that it wasn't too strange to have such an open concept for the fact that nobody's really gonna walk by their house. Now, if it were somewhere like in a little neighborhood, that would be a little strange because then who knows, somebody could easily walk in their backyard or through their house, and nobody wants that. There is a little bit of a like backyard fence, but again, since they're at the very top of Del Sol Valley, I didn't think that they would necessarily need it, so it doesn't completely go all the way around. It is interesting to say the least. And I'm not exactly sure if it's really a thing between the Capps and Montys, but in my mind, the Capps have a very red theme, and then the Montys have a very blue theme. So just like the Capp's house, I decided to stick with the blue theme as much as I could. Like I said, in The Sims 2, the Montys are said to have like a very Italian background, but since it's The Sims 4 and they don't really necessarily have a whole Italian-esque type of anything, I guess I kind of went with more of just like a Mediterranean type of style, especially since the house itself is kind of portrayed that way. It's just the furniture also is more modernized and not so traditional like the Caps is. Even though this build was really challenging, I did have a lot of fun decorating it, probably because such out it was so out of my comfort zone, so it was really fun to just play around and try new things. And that's kind of the whole point of me creating this save file, so that I can challenge myself and push the boundaries of what I know I can do, especially since I'm not much of a builder. At least I don't consider myself much of a builder. I do like building, so I feel like using my creative abilities, I can practice my building while creating a whole save file. With the pool, I really wanted to do like an infinity pool, and I also wanted it to be, I guess, like on a platform, almost like an above ground pool, but I didn't really want a platform to go all the way around. And it's kind of funky. I do like the way that it turned out, especially with the little center in with the little thing in the middle with all the plants. I thought it gave it a nice little touch. I really am not too sure what to classify this whole style as, but I did, I guess, in a sense, keep it very boho. I don't even know, but this plant, I really, really wanted to use this plant, so you'll see me try and put it everywhere. The same with the one that came with the Oasis kit. And like my own family builds, I usually use a lot of plants, and I thought that using a lot of plants in this build was very suiting, especially with such an open concept. Again, not exactly sure what to classify this whole style as, but I did use, I guess, some traditional style, boho style, modern. I definitely feel like this living room is pretty modern. I mean, the TV definitely is, especially since the Caps house doesn't even have any electric devices aside from one computer. Whereas the Montys, they have this giant flat screen TV, a little game console, and I did make Romeo be interested in DJing. It's not necessarily in true Monty fashion, but this is The Sims 4. It is an alternate universe. So I made them more of the family to throw parties, whereas the Caps are more to themselves. It is really annoying how when you have a staircase against the wall, the banister part tends to clip. That's really annoying, but what can you do? I really liked the staircase where it was. But yeah, I gotta deal with the clipping, unfortunately. My favorite thing about the Sims 2 version of the Monty household was the front yard, how massive it was. So I kind of was inspired by that version. Of course, putting a lot more greenery around. And I will say too, the house isn't as symmetrical as someone might like it to be, but I feel like that was definitely more of the style, especially since this house is very, I don't even know, I guess eccentric. It definitely is not your typical traditional home. Since they are residing in Del Sol Valley, I felt like they would probably be the type of family to have bought in this lot and had their home built, or it's like I guess a family vacation home that they've had passed down or been a part of their family at least for generations or recent generations. I don't want to go into the family too deeply through this speed build because I am going to make a create a sim video, which is where I will talk about the whole backstory of the family. I think it would make more sense that way, just so that you can see the family while also getting to know the family, whereas this one is all about the house. Since this house is pretty much all over the place, I was kind of putting a lot of I guess, random things in, trying to fill that space, especially with like the vases and plants. Hopefully, it doesn't look too crazy all over the place since not very many things go together, but I mean, I like it. I don't think it looks too crazy. It's definitely interesting on its own. Since there was this little, I guess, this little like hole in the wall, I don't even know, indent, I decided to turn it into a little tea station or coffee station, and I used the little cupboards from Sulani, which I thought looked pretty cool, as if they could store all their teas or coffee items in there. While decorating any house, really, I always try to imagine the family that lives or resides in the house, just to add more personality and not make every single build the same. And I definitely feel like the Monties are the type of family who travel a lot, so, and since they're rich, they probably will buy a lot of really expensive things. So I didn't really take too much liberation, or did take liberation. I don't know. Either way, I took, I didn't limit myself on like spending, because I feel like they would have enough money to spend and fill the spaces of their home. But around this time too, I did realize, like, oh crap, how am I going to start filling this house with things? I really did want to fill the owner's suite with things, but I really didn't know what to fill it with. I thought it was kind of cool to put the whole bed on top of a platform and then surround it with a canopy type of thing. It kind of sucks that the curtains are very limited, but I made do. I don't think it looked too bad where I put them, but it would have been better if there were bigger, longer curtains that suited this style. I did really try to put more things, but I think I just left it as the bed, maybe a plant, and I did give him like a walk-in closet, so the bedroom walks into the closet and then the closet walks through to the bathroom. And I did try to take a little bit of creative, I don't know, creative liberties to try something new with the bathroom. I know, like, it's just a bathroom, but usually if you look at really fancy mansions and stuff, the bathrooms are always really big or have huge showers, and I have seen plenty of houses where their showers and stuff go like are in like you have to step down into them. Plus, in movies and stuff, really rich people have like a whole room that is a bathtub. um this bathroom is definitely not big enough, but I did do like a little indent in the ground with a platform. I sunk it in and put the shower and the bathtub in there, and I wasn't too opposed on how it turned out. I did really want to use that little corner bathtub, but it just didn't fit and it didn't look right. I also almost forgot to put in a toilet. I think in one of the other bathrooms upstairs, I almost forgot to put in a toilet, and then another bathroom, I almost forgot to put in a sink. So I didn't, but I almost did. I had to rearrange everything after I had realized. And this is completely off topic of the speed build, but I don't know about you. I feel like I've been improving with my consistent speech. Usually I do a lot of stop and think about what I'm saying, whereas I feel like I've had a pretty good flow so far. I'm a really anxious person and do have a lot of anxiety, but so that means my brain is going a million miles per second. But I'm not a very fast talker, and I don't usually get a lot of those thoughts out, or those thoughts I guess, drowned out my speaking abilities. And I'm working on that, and I feel like I'm getting a little bit better. Hopefully, I like to think that I'm getting a little bit better at it. I definitely feel like these speed build videos are helping with that quite quite a bit. So, and I'm pretty fond of doing them as well. I have been thinking about doing maybe like talkthroughs of a build, but my confidence level for that, building wise, is not quite there because it takes me so long to, for one, think about a layout and then just consider what I'm doing. I do look up a lot of like inspiration off of Google or Pinterest, but it still is pretty difficult. The next build I really want to do for the save file is a community lot, but I'm not exactly sure what kind of community lot I want to do. Sometimes when I go to build, I kind of just start building. I always forget to like hit record or something. I did do a really cool restaurant in Brindleton Bay. It's a seafood restaurant right off of the pier, and I'm pretty proud of it. I'll probably post some pictures on my Instagram of it because it turned out pretty cool. I used inspiration again from Pinterest, but also when I went and visited the East Coast, especially like the docks or even places near the beach in California. I think seaside restaurants are pretty cool, and I've been to quite a few really cool ones. Anyways, we're on Romeo's bedroom. I decided to give him the one with, I guess, like I said, a patio. I guess you can call it a patio. I'm not exactly sure, but I would imagine he is definitely the one to sneak out a bunch, especially since he is seeing Juliet. I did give him the DJ set directly in his room. I feel like him and Mercutio, his brother, are definitely similar in some ways, but where Romeo is more of a romantic, Mercutio is a hopeless romantic and is truly looking for love. But both of them are super into sports and music, so Romeo does more of the partying side of music, hence the DJ, and Mercutio is more into the, I don't know, I guess more intimate, so he plays the guitar. And there are two bathrooms upstairs. One is joined directly next to Mercutio's room, and then the other one is out in the hallway right outside of Romeo's bedroom. And then there's like a big open space. I did put like a little seating area in there, and then there is a big giant patio on the upstairs as well. I also incorporated a office area, and I don't know, that room was kind of interesting. I mean this whole house is interesting, but I thought maybe even the Montys are super into business or what have you. So they have a little office area. I haven't necessarily decided what kind of business that they will be in because the Capp family are in the business career. So I don't know if I will keep the Montys also in the business career, but since it's The Sims, they will basically be coworkers, and that doesn't really make sense to me because they don't like each other. I guess you can have coworkers that you don't like, but I feel like I don't know, I just feel like that that isn't how I want it to be. So, I don't know. I'm still considering their business choices, career choices. What I do know for a fact is that neither Mercutio or Romeo really want to continue the family business. Romeo, of course, has his own ambitions and plans. I feel like he would really want to carry on with his music career. And then Mercutio, he's more of in tune with his creative, artistic side. So But again, I don't want to get too into the family in the speed build. Right here is where I start working on the little office area, and like little seating area I put is not against the wall, and I know in a lot of other parts of the house in front of the windows they're kind of blocked. And in this room I definitely didn't want to block it since the shutters close like inward, so I would imagine they wouldn't want to move the chairs back and forth, so I pulled them more into the middle of that part of the room, which I don't think it looks too weird or in the way. I feel like the rug really brings it together, plus the plants sitting behind the chairs. And again, it's more of like a bohemian modern type of esque. I don't know. But I did add like some like that jewelry case with the necklace from, I think it's the Criminal Career. So I don't know, maybe they might be criminals or like mob bosses type of career. I also use the rug from the paranormal pack, and I use the swatch where it's kind of run down. That definitely is like the only rug in the whole house where it looks like it's been used. I don't know. I really like the way that it looked. And the patio upstairs doesn't really have too much on it. It's just like a little seating area. There does seem to be a lot of seating areas upstairs, but I might go back in and add like a bar or something up there, or maybe downstairs, especially since they'll be partying, a party family. The video is about to come to an end. I do show the outside outdoor. It's not a gazebo, but the outdoor little sanctuary thing. Again, I'll have a create-a-sim video up soon talking about the whole backstory of the Monty family and each individual family member. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'd love to have you stick around, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye.